Good evening and warm welcome to my live stream. I am Bob Pace, your host, and here we are fighting CPS and stop taking our children. This is a live stream from California on the West Coast, a place called Surf City, USA. I'm 3 blocks from the beach. This live stream is very interactive. We have lots of things we do on here. Now, I give you a warm welcome because you hear about CPS. And CPS, what I call CPS, stands for is the Child Protection System. The Child Protection System is a government entity that is mandated by Congress to protect our children from neglect and abuse. They've entrusted social services to set up an entity, a government entity, that is a system. I call CPS the Child Protection System. There's a lot of other names like Child Protection Services, the Cabinet, Department of Children's Services, Department of Family and Children's Services. So make it simple here, I just say CPS, means Child Protection Systems. So I give you a warm welcome here because you're now encountering something that you never gained before. Now, I want to welcome Gina Rensky. I think you're kind of new, but that is great. A warm welcome for you. Trump is taking them down. Corrupt and trafficking and more laundering. I haven't heard about that one, about Trump doing that, but we are here. And let me tell you what one of the ways we interact with this podcast. It's very important on this podcast when you're texting me a message. It should pertain to CPS and should focus on CPS. Please show me your first name and the location that you're from. And it can be either the city or the county where your case was. Then followed by a state. And if you're from another country, I'd like to know what country you're talking from. Yes, we have 21 countries that have participated in my podcast. We have over 900 people that have texted in or called in from all 50 United States, including the District of Columbia. And these 21 countries are from all over. They're from Indonesia to Bangladesh to India to Saudi Arabia to Libya, then down to South Africa. And they have gone to Liberia and then to Sudan, and then Rwanda, then Mozambique, and then 4 provinces in South Africa. 4 provinces in South Africa. Okay. Okay, 687. Okay, you're trying to call in, and it's 1903, so let me finish this one statement about texts and messages. So it's very important that you also tell me about your case, because I want to help you. I want to help you, Gina. So thank you for texting in. Now, Kiki and Teiji, welcome. And hey, it's Kristen. Thanks for fighting for what's right. I appreciate it, Kirsten. That's nice. I'm from, let me see what Keegan, TJ, and Kirsten. I'm too afraid of retaliation to share my story. Understand, Kiki TJ, and that's fine. I respect that. So you don't have to talk or share anything with you on that. So that's how you can communicate with this podcast. Now, who am I? Well, Bob Pace is a family man, a husband, a loving father. I've helped raise 6 children. I once had a beautiful home. I had a home for a good, 60 years. I worked 45 years of those to get my home. And um, unfortunately, I lost my job in 2010 and through no fault of my own. And I also got involved. Here we go. Here we go. Hello and good evening. This is Bob Pace.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Did you just call right after 7 o'clock?
My phone went down out. I don't know if something was wrong with my settings, so I tried to call like 2 or 3 times. It kept ending my call. It'll show your number and then it'll end. And I text you to say my phone is acting up. I kept trying to mess with the settings to get it right.
Right. I think you called me. I called you this afternoon. I answered your call. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I called you earlier. Yeah, this is Debbie from Michigan.
Right. Well, I'm so glad that you're able to talk to me tonight. I am live, and I'm doing live stream. I just found out that I've been saying the improper terminology. This is not a podcast. A podcast is recorded. It's mostly an audio. This is actually called live stream. So I'm doing a live stream. And I've been doing it for 16 months, but I've been calling it a podcast. That's my bad.
Okay, so this is a live stream audio. It's not, so you can't see me. You only can hear me, right?
Well, on your case, when you call my phone, I can't see you. But if you're a guest on my podcast, I can see you.
Okay, good.
It's okay. It is okay. It is okay. I decided to change my package so I have a different shirt on tonight because everybody got tired of seeing me in the same shirt, even though I washed it and stuff. So people are making fun of me. He says, "Don't you have any other clothes you wear?" So tonight I'm wearing a gray shirt with that. So like I'm trying to look professional and so forth. What is your first name?
My first name is Debbie.
Debbie?
Debbie. Debbie. Debbie.
Oh, Zebby? I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Zebby.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Debbie.
Glad to meet you, Zebby. And what part of the world are you from?
I'm from Michigan.
Okay, we have Zebby from Michigan. And I assume you have
Debbie, like Debbie. Debbie. Debbie.
Okay. Debbie. All right. And you're from Michigan. And you have a CPS case, right?
Well, I don't have a CPS case, but it seemed like I have one the way they mention my name all the time. My daughter has a CPS case.
So you're the grandmother. You're the grandmother, right?
Yes, the grandmother.
Okay.
Yes, and everything started somewhere June 2023. And some people she knew made some allegations, and it was also the father. And then he gave the lady dual power of attorney over her daughter, took her out of school without the mother's permission. He was inside a treatment program called Share House in Detroit on West Grand Boulevard. He didn't have his own place. He was on parole. And so he later gave the child over to his girlfriend for a minute. The mom told him to give her child back. And
could you stop for a second? I'm trying to focus because we're jumping around here. It's my understanding that you're a grandparent. Your daughter has a child. apparently family members, including her husband, were not very kind to her and stole her child, or they called in
Yeah,
CPS.
you can say to me, that's what I think is, even though she was married to him, but he was like in and out of prison. He was in prison, um, for
He was
drug use and stuff.
incarcerated. Okay.
Yeah,
And
he was. But
okay.
what I'm calling for is she had two kids. Then she allowed me to take. She signed over a durable. He signed the first one. He signed the first one because she got two children. When he was in prison, she wound up being in a relationship with another man, and so at the time that she had another child, when this kid, when they took the kid they had, when he took that kid, and one child was 8, the other was 1.5 or one something years old. The 1-year-old wasn't his. So he made a durable power of attorney papers for the 8-year-old to somebody without the mother's permission. And so he didn't want to really have nothing to do with the 1-year-old. And so my daughter, CPS came over to my daughter's house July the 31st, 2023, asking questions and everything, asked me a couple of questions. I told her, gave her what you call an alibi of what I knew and what I didn't know. And so then later on, my daughter, like I think it was August. Yeah, in August, my daughter signed over a durable power paper for me for her 1.5-year-old child. And so CPS later on wanted to see the 1-year-old little girl because a neighbor had told them that the child was, the mom was with a certain person in her house around the baby. And so she said, well, I want to see if the child is okay. And I told her, okay, you can come over. Maybe I should have never did that. And I did. I was open. She didn't come over that day. She said she came over the next day. That was September the 20th, 2023. The worker name is Jennifer Allred, Allred. She came over and she talked to me.
We don't want to use names on the show, okay?
Huh?
We don't want to use names of the show. You just call her a social worker.
Okay, that's good. Okay. So the social worker came on July the 20th, 2023, just do a wellness check and everything. So she asked me questions. She looked around the house. She looked at the baby. She didn't pick her up. She just looked at her, And so I asked her, can I see the 8-year-old at the time? I said, is it okay that I see the 8-year-old? She said, yes, the Department of Human Services don't have any restrictions on you, and it's up to the father and the caregiver if they want you to see the child, because he's the father. And I was like, okay. And I asked her, can I video her saying this so I can give the video to him? Now, the part didn't come on my my phone recorder, but I video her with a digital recorder, and it's on that. But on my phone, the visible recording, you didn't hear me ask her for permission, but I did because you can hear me talking into the phone, talking about to the father, like she's here, and I want her to give you the facts if I can see the baby or not. So she knew I was videoing, okay? And she said everything was okay. Then later on, when I started sending pictures to her, like a month later, I started missing my granddaughter really bad. I started sending lots of pictures and stuff, and she got mad about it. And then saying that, grandma got some kind of problem because she's acting like this. All I was doing, I was missing my granddaughter because I raised her from when she's the 8-year-old. Now I'm talking about the 8-year-old. But the 1-year-old was with me at the house when the worker came. And I raised the 8-year-old when she was like six months up until 8 years old, then or 7.5 years old, something like that. I raised her and her mother took her on, had the rest of the time with her, but I will always help the mother with money, buying her food, clothes, doing stuff for her, taking my granddaughter on trips and everything. So I was actually missing her. I had a bond. And then I was sending pictures through my phone, and I was doing it all types of like in the 11 o'clock, maybe at night. I was sending it anytime. I was just sending pictures to her just to show her that I had a bond. And then she felt like my behavior was odd, like if I had a mental problem or something doing stuff in her department.
Excuse me for 1 second, Debbie. Excuse me for 1 second. I have people that are texting in and they have some questions. I'm not going to stop talking to you. I'm going to pause for a moment, but I want to say goodbye to Gina, who had to leave the room because of emergency. I hope everything's all right, Gina. Anyway, there's another person here called Kiki and TJ. They can't talk too much because they're worried about retaliation. And Deidre Payne came in. I don't know where any of these people are. That's one thing you guys got to do is you got to show me where you guys are from there. So it's very important that you put your first name and your city or county, your state, and if you're from another country, you put your country. So I have no idea where Kiki and TJ is from. Deidre's the same way. She said, I guess Deidre and KK and TJ must be knowing each other because she gave some advice. Now, Deidre did say hi to me, so I know that she's probably been on before, and I welcome you back. And TJ and KG says, I want accountability for what they did to my family. I want to help others to avoid what we went through. And then Deidre says, Katie, come on to my show that I also do under Mr. Davis' platform called Are You a CPS Victim Like Me? And tell your story. So Deidre Payne is one of the people that do a live stream too, besides myself, with Mr. Davis. Her show is called Are You a CPS Victim Like Me? And, I take people on first come, first serve. Debbie, who's talking to me from Illinois, called me several.
No, Michigan.
I'm sorry, Michigan called me several times, and that's why she's talking at the moment. If KG and TJ want to talk, okay, you're from Kentucky. Well, glad to have you from Kentucky. I know another person in Kentucky, Faye Manley, who's going through a double case of pneumonia. But DJ, thank you. I know I keep forgetting. I am the other host that does my show underneath Mr. Davis's platforms. Okay, great. So there's another live stream on tonight. Deidre, and thank you for coming into my room. I appreciate that. We have somebody new named Maria Me, and she says, hi, Bob. I'm Maria Me. We went to court here in North Carolina, and they adjudicated my grandson neglect and being dependent. Now, what will happen? They're still in foster care 182 days. What's going to happen? Well, if you adjudicate my grandson for neglect and being dependent, they may be going to the thing where they do a formal adoption. I need to know more about you, Maria. I guess you're from North Carolina because you're talking about it. We have Kiki and TJ that have something they'd like to share. They're from Kentucky. And hello, Betty from Montana. And she says, hello, sis. I assume someone is a sister to Betty. Hi, Betty. Welcome. And then Akima came in. KK. Hi, Bob. Hi to the parents in the room. Hi, my Betty Joe. Okay, Betty Joe is a lady from Montana that just recently got her child back, a guardianship. She's a grandparent, by the way. She got her brother's daughter, her niece. and she got a formal adoption. She drove from Nebraska to Montana. And so she's also a foster care mom there. She's a good foster care. Akima's from Brooklyn, New York, and she says, hi to the parents' room and my things. For all you know, I have right now Debbie that's talking from Michigan about her case, about her daughter. She's a grandparent. It seems like we have a lot of grandparents that call in, which I'm glad they do. Grandparents are just as important as moms. So that's really good there. Now, Kima says, that would be me, Bob. My sister and her mother. That's my Betty Joe. Okay, great. I had no idea that Betty Joe and KK were sisters. I did not know that. I'm sorry. I should have known that, I guess. And Kima says her niece, which is a daughter, she is adorable. Yes, she is. She shared me pictures. Betty showed me pictures of her. And that is really, really, really great on that there. Now, going back to you, Debbie, you were saying that the biological father was incarcerated many times. And during one of the incarceration times, your daughter decided to have another child. Where is that father for that second child?
He was around. He's around. Yeah. But
now is he wanting to help, or does he want to cause problems?
No, he wanted the baby, but they didn't give the little girl to him. They first of all, they had no business taking her from my house. My daughter gave me the baby. I'm not on the central registry. I don't have a prison like a criminal background. I have not been incarcerated or anything. And so they went to court. I'm gonna stop giving all the other little crazy details. It's not really crazy, but I don't want to go into all the pictures and all that, which they got mad about. But it was a court order, and they took the child October the 26th, the 1.5 year old in 2023. It was October the 26th, 2023, and said the grandmother did nothing to protect the child. And I'm like, what are they talking about? My name, my name was not on any police report. When they filed a petition, they didn't have my name on there. And protect the child, that's all I did. The lady came to the house. As a matter of fact, I videoed her. Then I had wrote letters of letting them know that I video people. They got mad about that because I record the video. That was another reason why they didn't want me to have a child, because I record the video. I know about CPS, and if you don't record the video, they're gonna lie. They will lie. So the judge, one day I had got on the Zoom meeting for my daughter's court hearing to listen and everything. They told her that I recorded the CPS workers and stuff. I guess this judge got a thing about people recording, and she told me, she said, it was early in the morning. She was like, she recorded the legal team. She said, you out of pocket and get out of my courtroom. Exactly, just like that.
Okay.
And so she kicked me off the court. She kicked me out of the court on Zoom, told me not to come back. Then about probably like 10 minutes later, they all calling me back. My daughter's attorney, he called Miss Williams, or whatever they want to call me. Miss such and such. The judge wants you to come back. I did try to come back. I went back on. She was had a hearing with another person, and then I stayed on for a minute. I got off. Then the man said, "You got to come back on because the judge wants you on." And I said I did, but she had somebody on there, and he was like, "Well, she'll be off in a minute. Just stay on." So then the guardian ad litem, and he called in. Miss such and such, and you a party to the case, so you need to come on. And I know I'm not a party to the case, not at all. No petition on me. So I said something ain't right. And I ain't never known them to call me back to back like this, and then for the darn it light to say I'm a party to the case when they know I'm not. So then all of a sudden, the lady that you told me not to mention her name, and she called me. Right after that, you need to get back on. The judge wants you to get back on. And I was like, something ain't right. I'm not getting on unless I have my attorney now. I'm not getting on. I said, what it is, they want me to get back on because they done told the judge about me recording and stuff. And so she wanted order me to take down my videos. And sure enough, that's what it really was. It wasn't about me saying anything else. Because I had, at the beginning, and I should have told you, at the beginning when they took my granddaughter, my other granddaughter, the first one, letting the father have them and stuff, have the little girl. Well, they didn't tell him to turn back the child to the mother. And the mother kept saying, he got my child, he did it the wrong way and all that. And so they didn't say, well, you got to turn back the child if they can't tell her that. Tell him that.
Right. Hold on, Debbie. I need to catch up with my callers that are calling in. Hold on a second, Debbie. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Akima, who's from Brooklyn, New York. Yes. The caller is from Michigan. Her name is Debbie, and she identified herself from Michigan. And Maria Me is from North Carolina. And I'm sorry that they are giving you a hard time as grandparents. That's wrong. Grandparents are just as important as parents to have access to their grandchildren. And Kiki and TJ, she said, good job to you, Debbie, for recording your interaction with CPS. Maybe do it secretly from now on if that's not legal.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
But you're right, I didn't have to let them know, but that's when I had let them know, and that's when it was a problem. And but I was trying to say at the beginning, I had me an attorney and to let the judge to speak on my behalf, and the judge kept telling me and my attorney that I wasn't a party to the case. Like I didn't have no standing. I wasn't a party to the case. So then why would in 2024 you're gonna tell me to come back on in your courtroom after you kick me out, and then tell me I can speak? I'm not going on the record with somebody like her. She don't believe nothing nobody tell her, but she's not unbiased. She is very biased. Anything CPS tell her, she believe it. Then they play her where I don't see her taking any notes. She'll tell them to do things. I want you to look at this video. I want you to do a relative placement at the grandma's house. This same worker that I told you, I mentioned her name. She comes to my house with a lady to do kinship care. The judge didn't tell her to do kinship care. She told her to do relative placement.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Yes.
And then later on, I can't go through all the whole ramification of everything. All right. So then next thing I know, May, they go and send my daughter an order.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Present that the the assistant attorney general, she sends she's assistant attorney general, for Department of Human Services. I'm gonna say Western Wayne here in Inkster, Michigan, Department of Human Services. She represents them, the workers. So she sits up there and make a petition. How you gonna make a petition up on me? I'm not a party to the case. All I ever did is sit in the gallery watching the hearing, taking notes, mentally taking notes and all that kind of stuff. And then you're gonna make a petition, and on the petition it says here, I'm gonna read the part where it says the reason why the grandma don't have the child. Okay. It says right here, maternal grandmother requests placement of the children, but was denied due to the following: refusal to provide identification. When I got a video, I have my videos up, and it'll be on my page, my Facebook page under Debbie Williams. You'll see like a lady, like an Indian sitting on with a feather sitting on. That's my page from Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. You can see I video that whole meeting at my house. I video right in my home. I asked the lady, what is relative, what is kinship care? You know, she wanted to take a picture of I showed her my ID, and then she wanted to take a picture of it. And I didn't let her take a picture because I let her see it. That's what I thought she wanted to do. I wanted to know what kinship care, what I found out kinship care is like being under the Department of Human Services, the foster care system, like you get your license and all that stuff. But if you're a certain age and you want to adopt that child, if you, I think if you're 50 or 60, you can't adopt the child. But
Okay.
The judge didn't tell her that. The judge never told her to bring nobody in for kinship care. She said relative placement. And that's what I wanted for my grandchild. I wanted to get, my daughter wanted me to have guardianship, and if I had to, she was going to allow me to adopt the child, you know.
Right,
like
right,
I said,
right,
they came
right.
in and took the baby on false information. And then it says another thing here. It says, refusal to cooperate with MDHSS, Michigan Department of Health and Human Services investigation for possible placement. That's not true. And then another one that says, the Wayne County was unsuccessful in attempting to gain maternal grandmother's cooperation and all this stuff. So and then about me putting YouTube videos, the recording and putting videos on YouTube. I'm not taking down. That's my right. It's called the Michigan Compiled Law, and it gives you the right to record as long as I'm in the conversation. If I'm not in the conversation, it's illegal. I cannot record. So I'm not taking it down. The judge said for me to take it down. They didn't have no jurisdiction when I when I did that first initial video, July the 31st, 2023. It was just an investigation at my daughter's house. And then the lady asked me some questions. Yes, I videoed. Yes, I recorded. Yes, I did. I recorded it all. And good I did because the second investigator, the one I had mentioned her name earlier, she went to court and said that I was acting irate, and I never acted irate. And then I wasn't cooperating. And then she made up. Then one other time she made up a lie. It was just lying. And I told her, I said, no, I said, you say that. I said, but I recorded. And she said some vicious stuff about me. And if I hadn't had my recording today, I would be in trouble, big trouble behind her lies. That's why I'm not taking it down. Because I heard the judge say something and it wasn't unbiased at all. So I don't have time for them. I'm not taking down my video. That's my rights. And the judge did not have jurisdiction over my grandchildren or my daughter. Was no petition filed with the it's called Wayne County, Lincoln Hall of Justice in Wayne County, and here in Detroit, Michigan. The lady did not have any jurisdiction over my grandkids. There was no emergency hearing, so I'm not taking it down. No, I don't want to go to jail. No, I don't believe in being disrespectful to the court of law or the judge. But you telling me to do something, you don't even trust me anyway. In my words, she do nothing but believe everything what Child Protective Service tell her.
Okay, can we stop there for a second there, Debbie?
Yeah.
I need to catch up. There's 25 messages here. It is hard here with people that want to talk, which I'm glad you are. And then other people wanted to give you support. And one thing that was Kima Richardson was saying, you got to be careful recording. If it's the law, then you can't record. You have to get their permission. So be very, very, very careful when recording or documenting what they're saying or doing. Now, of course, Kiki and TJ, they don't want people recording because they don't want it to get out how evil they are. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Kiki, I want Kiki to know I was at my daughter's home. And it was no jurisdiction. It was just an investigation. And a long time ago, I had a TV show, a little local TV show. You can give names, but it was the first investigator. Okay, I'm gonna give her first name. Her name was Linda.
Okay, all right.
This lady, she came out the first time just doing an investigation on the allegations. It wasn't in the court. The court did not have any jurisdiction or no emergency hearing. And in Michigan, Kiki, in Michigan, you have a right to record. It's called the Michigan Compiled Law Statute. I have a right to record, even if the person refuses. I can record. I'm not going to stand and deal with CPS and knowing how they lie and information.
They do lie. And I think Kiki and Teji do understand what Akima was saying. And I appreciate Kima to help all you can on my podcast. On my live stream. I keep calling this is a live stream, not a podcast. And so there's a question that Akima Richardson was asking. Do you move forward and go standing, be involved in those proceedings? I don't know who she's referring that to. Do you think it was interceding? Can her decision and how she interacted with you based on your being a relative? Kima further says, different means, different funding. Yes, there's different fundings for different means here. All of you that are texting in, thank you so much for identifying where you're from and try to be complete about your case. I want to say hello, Margaret, and I'm glad that you joined me tonight. Margaret asked, they do have any right placing pressure on anybody. They have no right. I agree with you on that.
Now, this is what I wanted to ask all of you guys.
Go ahead.
I want to ask you all, please find this out. If you can't tell me today, I'm going to try to find out myself too. How can a judge make a order on you? The assistant attorney general wrote a petition to tell me to take down my stuff and everything. How can a judge make an order on me and I'm not a party to the case?
Well, first of all, the judge, I hate to say it, is the moderator of that courtroom. You see, everything stops at the judge. Now, if the judge did something that's wrong, you can write a complaint at the state level about that judge. But the judge has the final say-so, and he does make decisions, and it is his courtroom. And even though it may be wrong or bad, judges can do that. So what you need to do is you need to write a complaint if a judge did that to you, did something really bad or wrong. You need to file a complaint against that judge.
Well, right. There was a judge in Detroit. A young lady was homeless. The judge didn't even know it, and it was a class project. So the kids can sit in there and watch. They were sitting in the gallery like I was sitting in the gallery, but I was at home. This was a Zoom meeting. Okay, and so the judge put her in jail, and they took him off. He's not even no longer doing. He's on something else now. The what did you call that for the? I know such thing for the attorney grievance.
You can make a complaint. You can make a formal complaint against the judge, and you can do that at the state level. You just have to have the name of the judge, and you have to formalize that and do the complaint. They'll give you instructions in there. Now, Margaret Key brought up a good point here. She says they do not have any right to put pressure on people. They try to pressure people all the time and make you sign things. And if you sign anything, you can write signing under duress. You're feeling pressure to do that. So you say, I'm signing this under duress. I'm pressured to signing this. And you write that above your signature.
Tell her I didn't have to sign anything. It's just the fact that, as I said before, I'm not a party to the case. I just sat on, there were times that I sat on the Zoom meeting listening to my daughter's case. Maybe 2 or 3 times I came in the courtroom when she wanted people to come in her courtroom. I am not a party to the case. How can a judge make me do something and then you're going to tell me to come on in your courtroom to talk without my legal counsel, without an attorney? And when I did have an attorney in 2023, you told her that this was a female judge, not a man. She told my attorney that she couldn't speak on the record because I was not a part of the case. Well, all of a sudden, when I got these videos out showing the truth about what really went down, then you're going to tell me to come on. You give me an opportunity to come on the in the courtroom. That's not true. You kicked me out of the courtroom. She kicked me out of the courtroom, and I had came another day before that day. I got the man's name that when I was sitting in her courtroom, I have his name sitting right here. That who she was talking to. Then she gonna put down in the order that she gave me an opportunity to be heard to talk about my dissatisfaction with Department of Human Services. That's not true. She kicked me out, and it wasn't about no dissatisfaction. It was about trying to tell me to come on in the courtroom. So then she would have jurisdiction over me or something, and to tell me to take down all my videos. I cannot do that. That's my right. That is my right.
I agree. Let me catch up with these comments here. Okay. No, that didn't work.
And another thing they don't do, when you try to call,
I didn't get a chance to say this comment. Hold on a second, Debbie.
Okay.
Let me see there.
Right.
Kiki and TG, says, my only advice is to play nice as possible. Trust me, I know how hard it is and how much it sucks. But anything to get these babies where they belong. I agree, TJ. You try to eat crow. You try to be nice as possible to these CPS workers.
They don't care
and
about
they
that.
They don't care. They, no matter how nice you are, they retaliate. They retaliate. Yeah. Hold on a second, Debbie. They retaliate.
Some of them don't care about that.
Yeah.
I was nice, but they go and lie on me and act like they use this word to get the judge to get the results they want. Oh, the grandmother, the mother act irate, or not cooperating, not complying, just lie. All they do is lie to get the results they want. They want to keep your child in the foster care system for 3 to 4 months till that Title IV-E money come in, and then keep the child in there until they can adopt it out or something other like that. Parents can do parenting classes. My daughter have done parenting classes and stuff like that, and they still won't give your kid to you. Some of them, not all. I know it's situations that people have their grandkids. But for some reason, we've been running into the wrong type of people and everything. But, they just they get away with it because they feel like people is not going to believe me or you because it's dealing with children. And then people feel that, no, it's no way the worker will lie on a parent like that or the grandmother like that. But until they walk in your shoes or my shoes, and then they'll see that they run into workers like I have been ran into, but it's really terrible. It's terrible. Mm-hmm.
Do you have, Margaret was asking, do you have a lawyer?
No, I said I'm not a party to the case. I had an attorney, and Margaret, at the beginning. I had a...
well, isn't your daughter, isn't that girl that's in trouble your daughter?
my daughter.
Well, right. You do have a privy to the case. You do have. You have to understand, a lot of people don't think so. But grandparents, mother, okay. A lot of people don't understand you are a party to the case because you're the grandmother. The grandmother is family. Mothers, dads, grandmothers, sisters, uncles, and cousins. They're all privy to the case. Any family member. Wait 1 second, Debbie. Any family member. Excuse me, Debbie.
Okay. I was not a party to the case.
Okay. I understand you may not be, but you do have rights as a grandparent to your grandchildren.
Not in Michigan.
Well, okay.
Was one lady told me a long time ago.
But what people are telling you, all these people are bringing up smoke. See, first of all, I have several rules you need to follow. One, you don't talk to social workers. You only talk through your attorney. You only talk through your attorney. Two, you don't let social workers interfere with taking your children. Three, you don't let them in your home. And so many parents do. I did. It's wrong. And so the law says that the home is your castle. There's only 3 ways to get in. You give them permission, or a family member gives them permission, or they have a court warrant, which says they got signed by the judge and gives specific instructions. It's got to be the correct date, the correct form. There has to be a signature of the judge with a raised seal on it. It's very tricky. They use fake warrants all the time. Also, the third way, if there's violence going on, they will go into the home. If a child's in danger, they will get a home. But all the time, they think a child's in danger all the time when they're not. My children were taken from me and they weren't in danger. They were not in danger. They're in school. And being in school is not being in danger. And so I know what you guys are all experiencing. But when you talk to a social worker, they hope you do. You open up a can of worms. Everything you say will be used against you. If you decide to take...
Yes, they did. Yes, that's true.
That's what to do.
That's true.
And then what they do is if you have a CASA or ombuds person or guardian ad litem, they're listening ears for CPS workers. You have to understand, not all CPS is bad, but a lot of the CPS is bad. Over 900 people have told me so. Over 900 people have told me that they're corrupt. I know firsthand because I did have a case myself, so I can relate to that. But see, you can't trust CPS workers. They'll lead you along. The way CPS is you're like doing open heart surgery yourself. You're not going to open your chest and operate on your heart. You're going to get yourself a professional doctor. That's why you need a professional attorney that is schooled in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law, not criminal law. This isn't a criminal law matter. This is a CPS matter. It's dependency court matter. It's family law and juvenile law. And so you got to be careful about talking or things like that. And Kiki says, it is terrible, Debbie. I'm so sorry for your experience with this legal situation. Stand your ground and keep fighting, she says.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly, Debbie. They say, I'm trying to read. Okay. Let me see here. I got to make this smaller because I can't read it here. Hold on. Okay, that's not working. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my page reduced down in size because I have some trouble with my computer. That's what's been happening lately. Your daughter needs to make a list of relatives or family friends.
She did, and they ignored it.
I know that. You got to have an attorney, though. I think if she didn't have an attorney, yeah, she's got to.
Let me just say this for a minute.
All right. Okay.
Then they put on the record that she didn't give them a list, and she did. Yes, she did. And they tried to find everything on her. My little granddaughter, she had a half sister, half sister, and she had something she did wrong when she was a teenager. It was nothing. She didn't kill nobody or nothing like that. Maybe she stole some. I don't know what it was. But they denied her. My daughter gave her a list, but they ignore. They do nothing but distort and manipulate and lie. That's what we're dealing with. And then let me tell you about the attorney. My daughter gave the first attorney all her information. Because she didn't have her email, so she told me to email her stuff. So I did. He come back and said he didn't want to deal with her no more. He wanted, so he gave the case to somebody else. Then he gave the case to this other attorney. And my daughter was sending stuff, and then she lost her email that she told me to send her evidence to refute the allegations that, the second investigator had out there on her. He did not want to do it. Every time he went to court, he didn't use it. He never said anything to refute the false allegations. All he ever did was tell my daughter, "You need to plead no contest. You need to plead no contest." She told him, finally, he stayed on the case for maybe 6-7 months or so. She told him she didn't want him no more. And so he accused herself of whatever you want to call the work. And so she got this other lady, a lady. And so this lady looked like it was like a domino effect. Like they passed the word down. Don't help her. Don't help her. She going to tell my daughter, "You need to plead no contest. You need to plead no contest." My daughter would try to call her and the lady would answer the phone. My daughter had someone I'll just say someone, to email her information, and the lady just sent back, still didn't respond to my daughter. And my daughter also emailed her a couple of times, and the lady didn't respond. All of a sudden, January 2023, I can't remember the date. And, I wasn't there because they won't let me come to court. I'm barred out the courtroom. So they terminated my daughter's rights. And guess who was there? My daughter was supposed to have a jury trial. Guess who was there? And I told
wait. You're in the wrong court if you're in CPS. There's no such thing as jury trials in child protection indemnity.
Yes, it is. That's what you're supposed to have, a jury trial.
That's only for a criminal matter. That's if she was charged with a criminal matter.
Well, I don't know. All I know that she was supposed to have a jury trial, but this attorney did not have used none of her evidence, so she had lack of evidence, so she had to go before this judge, female judge, who's very, very she's not unbiased, not at all. She is very biased, and it looked like she's taking stuff out on my daughter. She don't listen, and so she terminated my daughter's rights.
Well, that's not okay. There's no such thing as jury trials in dependency court.
I'm not kidding with you. I'm telling you.
I'm not doubting you because you're in a criminal court. If there's a jury trial,
this family juvenile court division. This is what this is.
Okay. Well, let me try to find. Hold on. Is there a jury trial in dependency court in Michigan?
Yeah, Detroit, Michigan, Lincoln Hall of Justice. They have, you can call that number and they will tell you they do jury trial. Even in Washington County, the juvenile court do jury trial.
Well, I'm reading right now. Okay, no, there's not a right to a jury trial in Michigan's juvenile dependency court.
Juvenile family, that's what they call it, juvenile family court division. And that's what my daughter had supposed to have a jury trial, and she didn't get it.
Well, I'm looking at Muskegon County. I don't know if that's near you, but
Third Circuit Court, Lincoln Hall of Justice.
Okay, if it's a circuit court, it's not a dependency court. See, that's what the problem is that you're not a lawyer, and I'm not a lawyer.
No.
But I know for a fact that there's no jury trials. I wish there were a jury trial because your peers should make the decision, not a judge or a social worker about your children. And so there had to be a criminal matter, like maybe domestic violence, maybe there's some type of a criminal charge, misdemeanor.
Oh, okay, that's probably, see, the lady didn't even try to talk. I tried to tell my daughter, I tried to tell her to get rid of that attorney. She don't convey, she won't talk to my daughter about anything. And my daughter look like she don't listen to what I'm telling her. The lady, like I told you before, the lady never gave my daughter, and I guess I didn't tell you this part. She never gave my daughter her transcript, her any of the discovery from the assistant attorney general, the CPS investigator, the prosecutor. All they ever did is told her at the beginning to file plead no contest. And my daughter didn't even know what she charged with. So I'm glad you let me know something. The only way it was a jury trial because they had to charge her with something criminal.
Exactly. You see, this is the difference between the child protection system and the criminal court. If, for instance, if you have a domestic violence charge against you, that's criminal court, and you have to prove it in criminal matter. Now, if you have...
all I can say, that's a family juvenile court. That's all I know.
Well, it may be a family juvenile court, but I just know in children matters, children under the age of 18, there's no jury trial. I wish there was, because if there's a jury trial, I'm sure a lot of parents would be treated more fairly because it's your peers that judge you, not a crooked judge, not a social worker, not a crooked lawyer. They're done by people that are representative of the community that court's in, or where the case was. What they do is they pick people that are from the community where the case was. Okay, so in that community, they'll pick their 12 jurors, and they'll pick alternates, and they decide on criminal matters such as somebody stealing something, somebody holding up a bank, someone killing somebody, domestic violence. You know, I don't know if that was domestic violence, and that's why it's a criminal matter. So anyway, I have about only 4 minutes left, and I've gotten lost of all the people. And my people in the room are saying there's no jury trial either. So you've got there. Thank you, Betty. And I want to thank Kiki and Margaret and TJ for trying to help out me tonight. That's really great. I want to thank KK Richardson and Deidre, who has a podcast herself. My computer is having all kinds of fits tonight because I can't read the comments as well. And so, Debbie, do any open records request? Can you ask your daughter to do so? Yes, the respondents and Child Protection Service case missions can request the trial be determined if the allegations of the petition are true. Well, that's an interesting concept, Betty. I'll have to explore that more. We only have about 1 minute left. It's already getting close to 8 o'clock. I don't mean to cut you short, but Debbie, would you like to talk to a real attorney, Vincent Davis? He's my attorney.
And I said I wouldn't even mind coming to California.
Well, you don't have to go to it. This is a private Zoom meeting. All you have to do is text me your full name, your email, and your phone number, and I will set you up for a free 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis.
Okay, I can do
and
that.
You can make a list of questions and prioritize them because you did talk to you on my show. So I, want to offer that. So all you do is you text me, and you got my number, right?
Right.
Okay, you text me the number there. I can't seem to. My screen
And
won't. I
just sent the lies they have on paper. Oh my. Woo, to say.
What is wrong? I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to put the number on there in case you don't have it, but there it is. You can text me at 626-698-0990. Since you talked on the show tonight, you get a free 15-minute private consultation with Mr. Davis. Any of you can. Any of you that can be on my show as a guest. I'll be on again tomorrow. I'll be on my normal time at 10 o'clock tomorrow. That is Pacific time, the West Coast of California. For those that are on the East Coast, it's 1 o'clock East Coast time. And I love to have you on my show. Again, I want to thank everybody that was talking in on my show here tonight. It was really a pleasure to have you back there and see some of the familiar faces. Thank you, Kiki and TJ. That's really great. Thank you, Betty. Thank you, Margaret King. Let me see if I leave anybody else out. Oh, Akima Richardson. Don't want to forget her. And Deidre, I don't want to forget her. She does her live stream too. And I want to thank all of you for taking the time. And you, Debbie, thank you very much. And Maria, I haven't forgot you, Maria, me from North Carolina. Thank you too. She was early on the show. And then we had some people that had to leave. I think with some people that had to go tonight. Gina Renix had emergency come up. I hope your emergency is okay, Gina. Thank you for coming to the show. She was the only person I didn't know where they're from. Deidre is from California, I know that. So anyway, thank you all. God bless you all. And please do not stop fighting for your kids. You will get them back. So this is let me see here. This is Bob Pace signing off here. Boy, where is the sign off button here? Hold on. Sheesh.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you very, very much. I just can't find my sign off here. Okay. Wow, it disappeared. It's probably here. No, it's not here. Zoom meeting, nope. Okay.